everyone. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day yesterday, and happy birthday to everybody celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. Happy Mother's Day. Happy summer. Happy everything. It's so beautiful here. The sun has come out. The warmth has come back. And I think we're going into summer. So, I got a few things today. I got this necklace. Isn't it pretty? See? It's a necklace. And on it is all little pink flowers. So I got that. Got a hat. Do you like it? Keeps the sun off your head anyway. Sun and sand. So now all I have to do is find some sand. So I got that. Now, not too much new with me. Well, I was just thinking, it's funny here in Montreal. They used to have, oh, you gotta go with your car. They used to have a man-made island, Côte St. Catherine, and it was like a beach. You'd go there, and it was big. Not on the ocean, but like a lake, like a beach lake. You'd go and you'd have all the parking lot. Then you'd have all walking area with trees and everything. And you go to your right, way down, past trees and grass, and there would be the washrooms. Then here there would be the picnic tables and barbecues for you to barbecue a steak or something with the picnic table. And then further on would be the beach area with all sand. It would be all sand with waves coming in. Well, not much, but it was large and it was round and it was huge. And we used to go there as teenagers. And then went a few times with a boyfriend. But I don't know, I haven't been since. My sister doesn't go. They've got a pool. And her boyfriend swims in the pool all the time. So she doesn't bother. They don't bother going, you know. I would like to go. Of course, I wouldn't look very good in a bathing suit, but I'd wear a big muumuu or something. Now, it's funny how my parents met. My mother was born in Toronto, and my father was born in Quebec City. And they came here to live in Montreal. And they met when they were working at Canada Packers, Maple Leaf. It's the big company that packages all kinds of meats, chickens and all that stuff, you know, ham, hot dogs, Maple Leaf wieners, Maple Leaf ham, turkeys, slaughterhouse. Now, my father, when he worked there, saw how they slaughtered the animals. And he saw the priest that blessed the animals, the rabbi that blessed the animals, because we have kosher food here in Montreal available. And it has to be blessed a certain way by a rabbi before it is slaughtered, you know. So he saw all that because he had to work as, in accounting. You know, when you work in accounting, you have to see a lot of things like that, you know. So he saw that, and then they met and working, and they became friends. And she thought, he's really nice. My mother had been engaged a few times. Was it once? No, once. She was engaged once to a Scottish man, and he had a very big temper, and he bought her a ring, an engagement ring, and she had the engagement ring, and they went out one night, and they were sitting there having coffee after a movie or something, and there were some young guys sitting there, and they looked over at her, and they smiled and whistled or something. And she just smiled back and laughed. And her boyfriend said, "What is that?" And he started a fight with the two young guys. And my mother was so horrified. She said, "What are you doing? They're just talking. Oh, for heaven's sake!" And she took the ring off her finger and she threw it far away in the snow. It was winter. Oh, and when she did it, she says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God." That's all right. And they looked for the ring. They never found the ring. And he used to tell her, we're Scottish from Scotland, and he didn't like it here. He wanted to go back to Scotland, and he told her, he says, "I'm going back to Scotland. I want you to come with me to Scotland." "Oh no," she said, "I can't leave my parents. My parents mean a lot to me, and I can't leave them." And well, he said, "That's it. I don't like it here. I'm going back to Scotland." And he went back to Scotland. And he used to tell her, You're fierce. You're fierce, son. You're fierce." That's what they say, the Scottish. "You're fierce." And she said it was just as well. He had a temper. And then she met my father. And they fell in love, and they got married, and they had me and my sister. And my mother liked it, but she didn't like the Catholic religion. When she married my father, she had to change to Catholicism, and she didn't like it. She liked it at first, but then she didn't like it anymore. And she told the priest when we were about 7 and 8 that she didn't want to go to church anymore. She wanted to stay home on a Sunday because my grandmother and my uncle lived with us. And she said she found it too much to go to church and all that, you know. So she said to the priest, she says, I have to be honest and tell you, I don't want to go to church anymore. I find I have enough God in me that I want to stay home on a Sunday and make a nice supper for my family. I find I do as much God's work doing that as going to church." And the priest said to her, "Madame, I'm going to pray for your soul." She said, "What?" "Yes, I pray for your soul. Goodbye." Well, she got mad. So she phoned the church and she spoke with them there. And a nice young priest came over. And he said, "Oh, I understand." He said, he said, he's older and he doesn't understand, but I understand. I'm very sorry. Very sorry." She said, "That's all right." She says, "My two children will go with their father. But," she says, "I'm not going to go anymore. I find I have do more good out of making a nice Sunday supper, a big Sunday supper, than sitting than going to church in the morning for an hour or so. So that was that. And she never did go to church again, but she did go to church for weddings and funerals. And she did go to church if we visited Quebec City with my father, because my father's mother was very religious. She was brought up very religious in the Catholic religion. And she said, "Your mother," she said to my father, "believes in that very strongly, the Catholic religion, and I respect that. And when we go to visit her, I'm going to go to church with them because that's something your mother believes in." So she did. But when she passed away, my grandmother, and we visited in Quebec City, she said, "Well, I'm not going to be two-faced. I'm not going to go to church now because the only reason why was for grandmother, because she felt something about the church." And the sisters, her daughters, her sisters-in-law, they said, "What? Look at the time. You're not ready for church?" And my mother said, "No." She says, "I don't want to go to church. I don't believe in it. I only went because your mother belonged to it." But then that passed. So, you see, it's very funny. There's an old saying about Montreal. You can't throw a stone anywhere without hitting a church window. And it's true. Oh dear. Well, I've rattled on long enough. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.